All right, and hello, welcome to the podcast. At first, we're going to do a disclaimer. Also, please note we are amateur podcasters, simply for entertainment. If we misquote or offend, it was not our purpose to do so. Also, we're recording from our dining rooms, so you may hear kids and dogs. Thank you and enjoy.
Thank you, Mark. Boy, this is going to be clunky. First of all, my name is Eliav, and this is Mark. We are both, like Mark said, very amateur podcasters. So whoever listens to this, I hope you enjoy and laugh and feel as uncomfortable as we are as we go through this process of getting more comfortable in recording podcasts. I originally grew up in New Jersey. I moved out to Oregon in 2001. Started working at Umpqua Bank, where Mark and I immediately developed a friendship through random movies and TV shows and just life in general. So that's kind of what started this whole friendship, and here we are 15 something years later, and
we just 15 years.
Yeah, just came up with the idea of, everyone's got a podcast, so why not us? Yeah, so I hope you enjoy.
Very cool. My name is Mark Layton, born and raised in Covina, California. Moved up to Oregon in the year 2000, I think, actually. It's 2019. I don't remember. It's a while ago. But graduated high school, bounced around some various jobs until I wound up at Umpqua Bank, and was actually my first seat was next to Eliev, and his day one thing was to train me. So there we go. Since then, we've used to go on breaks and take walks and just discuss all kinds of items, usually food and football, movies.
When the world was a little different.
Yeah, it was all pre-COVID stuff.
You used to be able to take walks at work.
Yeah, you used to take walks at work, and
now it's virtual walks.
All right. So we got probably a lot of different goals with this podcast. We want to entertain, tell you some crazy stuff about Roseburg, tell you some funny stuff that we've come across about Douglas County, true crime stuff. You name it, we're going to discuss it. So it's going to be pretty hodgepodge, potpourri, would you say?
Potpourri.
There you go.
Lots of different random topics.
All right. So should we just jump right into the first one, murder? Should we go into a murder? Okay. Sure. So discovered this kind of goofing around at the Douglas County Museum, but I had to get I had to find part one of the murder online. The second part was on paper. So here we go. In 1921, Dr. Richard Brumfield was a dentist with a respectable practice in a small town in Roseburg, Oregon. He had moved there several years ago from Chicago, where he attended dental school. And prior to becoming a dentist, he was a principal in Indiana. Okay, so the catch with this guy is that on July 13th of 1921, he hired a laborer named Dennis Russell to dynamite some tree stumps on his farm. This is all in Douglas County. He drove his car to Russell's shack, picked him up, drove him out of town, and murdered the poor man by shooting him 3 times. With the body still in the car, he then drove a few miles further west to a steep hill near Melrose, Oregon, and staged a car accident with the body of Dennis Russell and Brumfield's car were set on fire.
What can I ask a question?
Please do. Yeah, pause right there. So many questions.
When did the idea of dynamiting tree stumps?
It's the part too. I get there like, holy mackerel, there's so many other ways to remove tree stumps, but maybe in 1921 that was like the best way.
Well, because I picture like a donkey or a horse throwing a rope around a tree stump and removing it. So I think red flag number 1 is seeing a guy dynamite a tree stump. I don't think that's a natural. It's a red flag for a killer.
Doesn't it make a bigger mess though? Like I'm just trying, like you're just gonna have, and then but then using dynamite, that's something you can do. You're just lighting a stick and throwing it at something, right? So it's like the fact that he hired someone else to do it.
I think he was already premeditating. Something.
Yeah.
So
this guy's offering, like he's like, poor Russell is probably offering, like, hey, I can blow up a tree stump. The guy's like, I got a job for you.
Right. And you think anybody was around, like walking by, seeing a guy chuck a dynamite at a tree stump and think, I'm not sure if I should say anything.
You'd have to warn the neighbors too, right? There's so much, like you can't just call them either. I don't think these old people had phones.
1921, yeah.
Can you imagine like some Civil War vet just hearing explosions like in the middle of Umpqua? Yeah. So here's the twist then becomes Dr. Brumfield then fled to Alberta, Canada, leaving his wife behind to collect on the $30,000 life insurance. Okay? So insurance scams were apparently one of his favorite methods of making money. Twice already he had burned down a house and collected insurance money in both cases. When county investigators looked into the supposed body of Dr. Brumfield, because it was the guy that poor Russell, there were some identifying features which seemed to match Dennis Russell, who had recently disappeared. So basically, the Russell guy, he was a bachelor. He kind of lives alone in a shack. He tended a few sheep, and as far as anybody knew, he had no kin.
So how did he meet Dennis Russell?
That part I'd love to know. I want to know how did these guys meet? Maybe he was a patient of his, because this guy was a dentist. It took authorities a week of examination and questioning witnesses to declare the body was that of Dennis Russell and not Dr. Brumfield. Okay, so this guy tries to fake his thing. So here's the best part. Among the different methods used to distinguish between the two was the fact that the corpse was not wearing underwear when discovered. Brumfield always wore underwear. So I love that this case blown wide open by a pair of underwear at this point. Okay? Brumfield was tracked down to Canada a month later and hauled back to Oregon for trial. The murder and his scheme to collect on his own life insurance was declared the most sensational crime in Pacific Coast history at the time.
Really?
Okay, so I'm going to pause right there because this is where it gets kind of crazy. So that was the first half.
So what year was he brought back to trial?
It was 21, so 1921.
So he got murdered. Yes. So he murdered somebody and brought back to trial.
Yep.
With underwear, in his car.
I want to know. So when they busted him down in Canada, when they ripped his pants off,
pairs of underwear.
Yeah, it's you have to. Right. This is it.
That's a different pair of underwear.
That's how we're gonna bust you. So now I'm gonna cut to the second part of this. This is the part on paper where this actually has the stuff that was by day from the court. So kind of what happened almost on a day-by-day thing. So October 11th, 1921, defense attorneys have a long conference with Dr. Brumfield's brothers and Mrs. Brumfield. Here we go. October 12th, an old Civil War veteran, Virgil S. Grout, testified that he found a piece of an ear in the culvert below the wreck on July 14th, the day after the wreck, which was obviously, Russell's, the guy that he murdered. On October 14th, Dr. Brumfield's brothers take the stand and say that Dr. Brumfield had received 2 bad blows as a youngster, and that explained his mental deficiency. They say that he was a sleepwalker, as was his father and grandfather before him. Because of this, they felt that he should not be held responsible for his actions.
Brumfield was a sleepwalker?
Yeah, so get this. Now we got that first, because we've heard this before, where sleepwalkers killing somebody, and I thought that was like a newer thing. But here we go, 1921, that's the argument they're going to try and go with. On October 17th, Dr. Brumfield himself took the stand in his own defense. He told them how he remembered things just fine up until around July 10th. After that, he had a complete loss of memory. Woke up next to being on a train handcuffed to Deputy Webb.
Of course.
Miss Brumfield also took the stand in defense of her husband, of course, because she wanted the money. So, of course, she's got to take the stand.
Right.
Here's this part's trippy. On October 18th was the day that doctors for both the prosecution and defense declared Dr. Brumfield both sane and insane on the day of the murder. So you had one group of doctors say he was sane, and another set say that he was insane on the same day. Yeah, one doctor said that he didn't know right from wrong, and the other said he did.
Well, I don't know as a jury member.
Exactly.
How you decide.
Do you get you're getting a third set of doctors to review both the other doctors' evidences? Yeah. I just like how they just kind of went with it. Like, okay, you say he's sane, you say he's insane. All right, let's go on with the trial.
I want to know how do you determine, what kind of test do you use?
So many questions. Because that's all they said here is they determined that he could determine right from wrong, and the ones that he didn't. So it's like, I don't know. What questions do you ask,
Do you like killing people? No, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what did he say? I'm like, did he throw this for one?
It was one of those old block pictures. Like, what do you see in this photo?
Yeah.
One of them was a butterfly. The other one, he slaughtered a kid.
Yeah, yes, exactly. I knew it. I was going to be a death of an animal somewhere. All these insane people. On October 19th, Richard Melvin Brumfield is declared guilty of murder in the first degree. The verdict did not carry a recommendation for sentencing. Instead, all it said was without leniency. Verdict until midnight before they announced it.
Was he tried here in
Yeah, this all took place in Roseville, in Douglas County. Roseville. Yep.
Well, the courthouse used to be downtown, I believe.
Yeah, they waited outside until midnight for that verdict downtown Roseville. He's found guilty. They send him up to Salem.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like where the asylum was for, because he's criminal insane at that point. October 21st, Dr. Brumfield attempted suicide by cutting his own throat. It was said at the moment that he'd used a razor blade or his own dental bridge. Dental work from his mouth. The sheriff Starmer at the time searched the cell more than once looking for a razor, but none was ever found. While doctors worked over the dentist in an effort to save his life, the dentist complained of a very painful toothache. The sheriff removed the dental bridge, and upon examination, the sheriff found clotted blood and a hair, and so they concluded that the device used by the dentist to cut his own throat was his dental device.
Oh my gosh!
It's like something out of a horror movie.
Right.
He takes his own teeth.
Yes. His mouth and was like, "I'm going to end this."
So if he's a dentist, he had to have built this himself at some point, right? Like 2 years prior, he's like, I'm going to need to cut my own throat at some point. So he built it into his jaw. In 1921, we're talking.
I'm gonna whoever declared that person sane.
Exactly. At that point.
That story. I guess he is a little.
Yeah,
slitting. I mean, not to downplay suicide, but slitting a throat compared to like other parts of your. I mean, that's wild. Like a terrible way to end your life.
The crazy part, that didn't kill him. So the dentist ran a high fever for the time after they kind of fixed the wound. He would not speak of the suicide and claimed that he had been shot. Once again, we're going to write down that. Once we're going down the insane route. Yep. Infection set in on one side of his throat while the other healed up fine. October 31st, Brumfield was sentenced to hang by the judge. Sentenced to hang on January 31st, 1922 is when he was going to be hung.
Was it a hung jury?
Well, here's what gets weird. Okay, ready? That's good. September 13th, 1922. Brumfield succeeds in hanging himself by making a rope out of the sheet and strips of canvas from his mattress. He actually used rolled blankets to make a form of a man in bed and placed a newspaper over his pillow. A pause right there. Yeah. So this is you see this in cartoons, like where they put like pillows underneath the sheet and put a newspaper or a book over their face.
Yeah.
This guy did it, and it worked to get the distracted guards. Guards thought nothing of it and just thought he was staying in bed because he'd been there for 3 days prior. Because he found the place he'd chosen to hang himself was too short for the deed, newspapers say he actually had to tie his feet and knees and his hands before jumping to his death off the bed.
Oh my gosh.
He was found at 12:45, having eaten one of the 3 peaches given to him during the daily fruit rationing.
Out with a little vitamin C.
That's just it. I love that he was like, you know what? I'm gonna hang myself. I just gotta get a little something in my system.
Right, this peach looks really good.
But the fact that he was able, then it goes to that part. Was he crazy? He had to think about how much of this he had to tie up his own self and roll off the bed and hang himself because everything was too low to the ground. Right. That part's nuts.
Well, he was gonna get hung either way.
He was gonna die. Yeah.
He was gonna do it himself.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. He's trying to beat everyone to the punch. Brumfield left behind 2 letters along with his trinkets and books. One letter was to Warden Lewis, who ran the penitentiary in Salem, and then the other was to his wife. And I'm sorry, the letter to the warden. Like, you've only been there for a little bit of time, right? The letter with the warden principally said 2 things. He denied the murder of Mr. Russell.
Thanks for the peaches.
And instructions for the warden about what to do with his personal belongings and his body upon death. The audacity of that, it's like, in trinkets, I'd love to know what he had in his cell. That's even creepier, too. Like, what little things did they allow you to have? So wild. Okay, newspapers later made note that the suicide was well after the 1-year mark, that must wait before a family can collect monies for life insurance, and Miss Brumfield did collect insurance money.
What do you think she did with the money?
Actually, the funny part, this does go into, she claimed the corpse of her husband, and his body was then taken to Portland for cremation. This is sad. There was a small service for the doctor with only one family member present, one of his sisters. Mm-hmm. September 29th, Mrs. Merle Brumfield, the widow of the dentist, marries a Howard Mosina, who was a common day laborer. He had once worked in Myrtle Creek as a laborer on the Highway Bridge project there. It was surmised that the 2 knew each other from that time period. So then it goes on to suggest, like, she moving down to, like, Marysville, California. She did have to do a stopover in Roseburg to get some stuff, and she owed someone named Mrs. Brown money.
She got that life insurance. Yeah. What's her name, Merle?
Yeah.
We don't make Merles anymore.
But anyways, that is
very interesting.
Yes, they say that he most likely murdered him on Boomer Hill, which is one of the exits on the I-5, and I would love to drive to that exit because I've seen that Boomer Hill exit, and I've always wondered, like, what's in Boomer Hill? Apparently a murder 100 years ago.
So that was 1921.
Yeah, we're coming up. I didn't realize we are coming up to 100-year centennial on that. Isn't that crazy?
13.
But yes, so yeah, that story came from the internet and from the Brumfield Murder Part 2 and the Umpqua Trapper.
2014 Fall Hunt.
Yeah, Fall Hunt. Yes, the Trapper magazine comes out based on when the good hunt is. There's Spring Hunt, Fall Hunt.
Volume number 3.
Winter, yeah. So
I had no idea.
So true story, when I moved up here from from Covina, California, which I went to a high school with over like 1,200 students.
Yeah.
I moved to Glide High. So talk about a change and difference. Our spring break was a little longer than the rest of it because they had allowed 2 extra weeks for the kids to go hunting with their parents.
Mm-hmm.
I was blown away. Like all these kids were gone from class. Like, where's it? Like, oh, it's hunting season, Mark.
Right. No, the same thing.
Wild.
Yeah. Yeah. And the high school I grew up in was the same building as the middle school. So when I moved out here, that was my senior year. And the Roseburg High School, that's like 4 buildings. I remember I showed up on campus and I would ask somebody which one's the high school. And they were like, this is all the high school. And it was big culture shock. But yeah, I remember everyone's taking time off for hunting season. Something I'm not familiar with.
Yeah. No. I'm like, what do you have to hunt for you can't get in the store?
Yeah. Do you fish?
I have fished. Do I actively seek it out?
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, this is actually funny. First day we met.
Yeah.
I celebrated getting a job at Uncle Bank. I was so excited about it. We went and celebrated at Skipper's. Okay. And I had coconut shrimp.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And I ate probably more than my share. Had an allergic reaction to it. I did not know I was allergic to shrimp. Had an allergic reaction, was in the ER. Okay, most of the night, my first day at work. So I come in the next day at work. I hadn't slept yet. ER doctor told me, he goes, not necessarily you're allergic to shrimp. You're also eating whatever the shrimp caught. So if they ate something bad, and you're eating shrimp from a skipper, so it's not like they're getting the top of the line shrimp.
Right.
So
fresh shrimp.
Yeah. I got nothing against seafood, but
yeah, we used to go fishing. I think free fishing weekend's coming up here in a few weeks, but a couple summers ago we went fishing out Cooper Creek and Ben Irving.
Did you catch anything?
Never caught.
No.
Never caught.
I think after this many years, fish are getting pretty wise, or we're just overfishing them.
Right. No, fishing's, it can be relaxing, but when you're not catching anything, and then I swear it was like every other throw, I'm not an outdoorsman person, so it was like my line just kept getting tangled. I was just getting frustrated by the end because I remember when I was like, I don't know, I was 10 or 11, I went fishing with my dad. And I didn't know there was somebody standing behind me. And I went to throw my line, and the hook caught this kid right in the finger.
Oh.
I don't want to talk about.
Did you keep tugging? Did you keep like?
No, I think my dad saw it right away. And I felt so bad, but they had to, remove the old hook from the finger. Yeah, I used to go fishing a lot, and we used to go to the Poconos, and they had this lake that they would stock fish, so your chances of catching a fish was like pretty good.
That's cool.
So you don't have to do any effort.
That's
the fish that come to you.
The fish accept it, like they've been debriefed. Like,
this is part of this is the end game for them.
That's it. Yeah. That's funny. I have a buddy of mine who I actually played Magic the Gathering with, and then he decided he was not going to do that anymore. But now he does. He makes his own bait. It's like tackle bait and that kind of stuff, and makes it I guess it calls it crawlers or something like that. He's actually he has a booth at Umpqua Farmers Market. Yeah, it's like, how cool is that? So real cool guy.
Yeah, I go to do you like hummus, man?
Oh, I love hummus. Yeah.
I go there, every now and then go get the it's like the garlic lemon hummus from that guy.
Yes.
It's really good.
Oh, the best, the pure ingredients.
Yeah, right.
Best hummus I've ever had is that one.
It's really good. The farmers market for me, like every now and again I'll find like a good hot sauce or a good like a barbecue sauce or something.
Yeah.
That's what I'm always looking for.
Oh yeah.
And then they have like random, what was it, like pollen, or like this lady makes like fresh. Have you ever tried she makes something from the bee? I think it's like pollen, something you can eat.
That sounds pretty good. Like a snack or something.
Yeah, and then they have every now and again something called canine crack.
Yes. Okay, I did get.
Have you seen that?
I didn't think the dogs were going to like it as much as they did.
But it's crack.
It's crack to those dogs.
Right.
Those dogs were doing extra tricks around the house. Right. And started taking up like sweeping.
Right.
Like that. Those dogs were all for it. That was the first place I saw at the farmer's market here. Purple broccoli. I didn't know.
Purple broccoli?
Yeah. I didn't know broccoli could be purple. And they're like, yeah, it's purple broccoli. I'm like, why don't you just, paint it or something?
Yeah, I feel like everything from the farmer's market, I know you can go in the grocery stores and get it, but there's something about like going to a farmer's market and buying stuff from people that grew it like fresh from their garden.
Oh, they're so happy when you stop by the break and buy something from them.
Right.
That's in.
No, we were talking about the difference between moving out here in Oregon, and one thing that I know there's a lot of people out there that love this, but eating ranch with pizza.
Yes.
Your thoughts?
First time at Abby's Pizza in Diamond Lake, they had a ranch table, and I moved up there, and they're like, "Do you want ranch with your pizza?" And I said, "No, I didn't get a salad." The whole table laughed, and I never felt like I was more of an outsider.
Right.
But I gotta admit, I was converted. So like, I can't have it. I can tell you where the best ranch in Roseburg's from now.
Right.
You know, I can't have a pizza
now you eat it, really?
Absolutely.
Man, I cannot conform to that. That is just, it's like a mortal sin to me eating ranch with pizza.
Oh, that's
yeah.
so
When you turn it down, they're like,
"Oh yeah, you're
sure you don't want ranch?
Yeah, it's town boy.
Pizza. Like, I don't want ranch with my pizza."
That's so funny.
And then Chelsea, my wife, before she eats her pizza, she puts it in the freezer. She likes
She just likes it colder? Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
I said
She likes the cold. Are you you like cold pizza? Are you?
Gosh.
I feel like pizza's gotta be fresh for me. Like I can't.
I dip it.
Pizza?
Yeah. No, I like warm pizza. I can't do cold pizza.
Yeah.
And in cold
freezer. It's just kind of funny.
My wife's the same way. She'd rather eat pizza either room temp or cold.
Really?
And it's the weirdest thing to me. It's like, we'll order a pizza and I'll eat my portion, and then she'll eat hers a couple hours later once it's cooled off, apparently.
Yeah, see, that's she eats cold pizza and she microwaves ice cream.
Now I'm upset. No,
there's certain things.
Look, I've had deep fried ice cream.
Oh, that's so good.
Deep fried ice cream. That's
the best. Yeah, people eat pizza all different ways. My mom, she scrapes off all the toppings. She eats the toppings first, and then she eats the bread. And then she asks everyone, "Do you want your crust?"
So is that from like something that happened when she was younger? Like I got questions, you know?
I don't
like
know.
Maybe they weren't allowed to have toppings.
I think when you remember stuff when you're little, you try to the first things that come to your mind, and that's like one of the first memories. My mom scraping off toppings, eating it, and I think as I just grew, I just accepted it. I probably questioned it when I was like 6 or whatever.
The crazy thing with pizza, I realized I like more and more like fun toppings or a bunch of like different toppings.
Right.
But I was raised, it was cheese or pepperoni. Like that was pizza.
Cheese,
it wasn't until I was like a teenager or older that I realized you can have different toppings.
Yeah.
But my family just played it very plain.
Sausage. Then you learn there's different types of sausage you can put on the pizza.
Yep, I'm a linguiça fan. Yep.
Yeah, linguiça. Yeah, she loves linguiça, and it has to be crumbled. And then every now and then she puts sauerkraut on it.
I'm upset again. Once again, it sounds like something my wife would do. The sauerkraut thing is like
sauerkraut on it.
It doesn't even sound appetizing. You say sauerkraut.
It's right on the pizza with linguiça. Now, are you a veggie? Do you like olives, onions, green peppers?
Okay, so confession time. When I first got with my wife, we went on a date up in Fifth Street Market, Eugene, and we got these street tacos. She asked me, she goes, "Are you a picky eater?" Yeah. I said no. As I took a finger and just kind of removed all the vegetables off the top of a taco.
Really?
And ate it. But then she's converted me since then. So actually, my favorite pizza is a veggie pizza.
Really?
What
about taco pizza? Have you tried that?
Okay, I've had every taco pizza.
Yeah.
I think it's funny because I'm married to my wife's side of the family is Hispanic, and so I will take a taco pizza to a barbecue. And my wife thought it was a very offensive thing to do. Like, how dare you? But they loved it. They were happy. They criticized it. They're like, this isn't taco, but
Yeah. Why don't you like toppings on a taco?
At the time, I was very picky. That's the funny part. Over 20 years now, I've gotten used to.
Was it like tomatoes?
I don't even remember. It was like a bunch of veggies. Like if I can't identify it off the bat, you're gone. But but now since then, I'll eat anything. Just about I'm not picky anymore. Like mushrooms, she purposely onions and mushrooms are like my two biggest things, and then so she started putting it in everything we ate. Yeah. And now I'll have it. I don't care anymore.
Yeah, I've warmed up to the idea of olives, and every now and again, like a mushroom on a pizza.
Yeah.
I know there's like a group of people that love the pineapple, like the Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not a huge fan of the. Do you like pineapple on your pizza?
Yes, but that's not funny. But it's hit or miss for me.
Right.
It's got to be good pineapple.
Where it's from too.
Exactly. Yeah. Depend where it's from. It's got to have a good. You can't just have it just on there. But I've had my kids will do fun pizzas. They'll get jalapenos and pineapple.
Yeah.
So you got that super spicy, and then with the sweet and sour, and that's all right. Then they go off the rails and go like a creamy garlic sauce, and that ruins the whole thing. That's crazy.
Yeah. Have you guys eat at Old Soul?
We've had Old Soul. I'll be honest with you, I've had every pizza place in town. Not Mike's. I was within 3 days of that place opening.
Well, because the Old Soul has it's a zesty sausage. Okay, so that one I can tolerate because they do the sausage, jalapeno, and then they have the pineapple on it.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the bites of the sweet and spicy, and then they have like a good crumble sausage on it.
Oh,
so I can do that.
Yeah, it's good.
But I think it's the Canadian bacon for me, mixed with the pineapple. I'm not a huge fan of. And I like pizza. I like the pizza where it's a little wood fire.
Yes.
And then I can fold it a little bit.
Yes.
I don't know. To me, that's just like hometown pizza for me.
Oh yeah.
I'm weird. I like Little Caesars over, excuse me, lagers, but over lagers for me. I don't know. I like the flavor to me is better, but
the price is really good.
Right.
Little Caesars, I never thought I got ripped off.
Right. The hot and readies.
Yeah.
I can't imagine if we ever go back to like New Jersey or New York and asking them ranch. I'm looking forward to the reaction to see.
I might have to bring my own ranch bottle. Right. Can you do that? Would it be crazy? Like,
you're walking with your own condiments.
Yeah, into a pizza place.
Right. Yeah. No, they do have this cool pizza place. It's different, but one of these places I used to go to, they had, do you know what ziti noodles are? Mm-hmm. They're short and fat, and they would put ziti noodles on the pizza. Like that. I used to order just a couple slices of that.
That sounds so good.
Oh, dude, it was sounds so good. The noodles on the pizzas. Yeah, it's very good. But
few reasons I travel, and my wife knows this about me. Number one is just for the food.
Right.
Like if I'm going out of town,
that's the first question. Where are we eating? What are we having? Do we need to make reservations? Yes. What time are our meals? How far is the walking distance from the hotel?
Can we do 2 meals?
Right. Yeah. And does the hotel have its own restaurant?
Ooh, yes.
And then do you look at reviews of places before you go? Like do you judge restaurants by do you go like 4.6 stars to 5? Because I feel like we're such a funny like society where we like I'm always looking at stars of restaurants. And then you read the reviews and it's like this place is crap. I'm like, how did this get 4.6 stars?
Yes, you gotta look at the stars. You gotta read a little bit. Look at the menu. I looked at the surrounding area to see if it's a good neighborhood. What's the property value of the houses before I'm gonna eat it. Yeah, right. That's okay. This has got that great variety. Portland's got such a good variety. I heard like you can eat someplace different every night and never. There's so much. The food trucks alone.
Yes. Yes, the food trucks. I know there's like so many probably 5-star fine dining restaurants in Portland, but for me, the food trucks because there's just the endless variety of.
Those guys are pros with what they're making. Right. They make the same thing over and over. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Many times have I mulled over the idea of going to a nice restaurant or go get a cheesesteak out of a food truck.
Yes. It always hits the spot too. I've never been disappointed for food truck stuff.
And I think Roseburg's getting there too. They have new food trucks popping up every now and again.
Have you tried the hot dog one?
No, is it the Rocket Dog?
No, it's a new one. It's a new one.
Relish?
Yeah, Relish.
Is it pretty good?
So I love it. So I went there, I got in line for Relish, and I'm in line behind a police officer. And on the menu, there's a macaroni and cheese hot dog. Oh. And the best part is she goes, I want that. And I said, I'm getting that too, behind her. And the guy starts laughing and runs the truck. He goes, I put that on there for kids, and adults have been ordering like crazy.
My gosh. So, okay.
So, hot dog, macaroni and cheese. I mean, he's one of those places where he just puts toppings after toppings and stuff. Really? So, and he's got like 10 different dogs. His chips are really good, though. He does like deep fried potato chips.
Oh, my God. Mwah. So, hold on.
Yeah.
So the mac and cheese is layered on?
Yes, it's layered on the hot dog. Like the guy knew.
You fork it or you just bite and go in?
It depends. If I'm at home by myself, I'm going in barehanded, right? Okay, let's be honest, right? It's like a bear mauling a fish. It's not going to be pretty.
Right. Do you go toppings on it or you just go hot dog, mac and cheese, I'm diving in?
I put the whole thing in. The whole thing in. I hinge my jaw like an anaconda.
Right. I know this sounds kind of weird, but I wonder what like a relish would taste like. Hot dog, relish, and mac and cheese. I don't know.
Right. He's got it. I mean,
maybe even just some onions. Could you go mac and cheese, a little grilled onions?
They got to be grilled onions. They got to be grilled, yeah. As long as they're grilled and cooked, I think that's perfect.
Two Shy Brewery, shout out Two Shy. We go there every now and again, and they have a good rotation of food trucks. That's usually like, if we were like wanting to try a food truck, it'd be like, What's that? Too shy today. We have Smoky Cheese is really good. Burgers and Q.
Yeah, Smoky Cheese is good. But yeah.
But yeah, I'll have to try that relish dog. A friend of mine, her husband Juan, just opened the Only One, I think it's called, food truck.
The Only One.
Yeah, the Only One. But I guess everyone craves about he has a fried bologna sandwich.
That's a funny thing. It's the second time I've heard about it. I don't know.
I know a lot of people grew up eating fried bologna.
Yeah, not me.
I'm going to have to, I probably have to try it to see what the fried bologna tastes like, because I'm not a bologna fan.
You said just ham.
Yeah.
It's like,
for me, I love a good sandwich.
Yeah, I love a good sandwich.
If I have a place that has like a great sandwich, I could go back there.
I'm like an old man because like if I find a good place I'm going to be comfortable in, I can eat a sandwich, just take my time, eat it, maybe read a book, newspaper, AC's on in the restaurant. I could be there for maybe 2 hours. Good sandwich is a good sandwich.
Yeah. Pizza bagel.
Yeah.
For me, there's something about a fresh bagel, and then you throw on some mozzarella and some sauce. And it's got to be like a bagel that's like thick, a thick bagel where I'm eating like that deliciousness of it. And then the sauce melts into the bagel and then the cheese. And then you have like this weird combination with like this little pickle off to the side and then like a little macaroni salad.
Yes.
And then it's like, I think we're talking because it's lunchtime.
Are you, I feel like you're talking about, do you go to the bagel tree?
I picture it. I've had a pizza bagel from the Bagel Tree, but like in my head, I think about, again, growing up in New Jersey. Yeah, we had this place called Noah's Bagels, and it was like, I think, busy 7 days a week. Like you walk in, and it was like, and it was a lot of it were like, a lot of people were from there. Weren't from there. They originated in other countries, so they like culminated all these different types of like taste and varieties of things, and they just made all different types of sandwiches. And the big thing over there is lox. Have you ever had lox?
I've never had it, but I've seen it on menus.
Lox and cream cheese. Okay. It's a smoked.
It's like smoked salmon or something.
It's smoked cured salmon, and you eat. It's cold, and you actually can buy. I bought it at Albertsons before, but the combination between the salmon, like the texture of it, and then like the cream cheese on a bagel, it's really. Until you have it, you'll have to try it. You have to. Lox can be a little expensive, but if you're just gonna have it, just try it once. Oh, dude, it's so good. But that's like a big thing over there. It's like you have like your spread, you have your lox, a bagel, and cream cheese. That's like brunch on a Saturday. Go in the park somewhere and enjoy it. But
that sounds so good.
Yeah, another weird, since we're talking about food related thing, is goop.
Goop, yes.
Like I never.
Is that a newer thing? Is that like the last 15, 20 years?
We're gonna have to find the origin of goop.
Is goop out of
because I don't.
It bothers me.
California.
Yeah.
You think Washington has goop?
No.
I want to say
I've only seen
there's got to be a founding father of goop.
It's probably, I'll be honest with you, it's probably somebody at one of the fast food markets. Because that's the first place I had it, and they perfected that ratio.
Right.
Because apparently it's mustard, mayo, and ketchup.
Mustard, mayo, ketchup, and a little bit of pickle juice.
Pickle juice, yes, yeah.
Yes. So
yes.
You think somebody spilled something.
Yeah.
On a counter. Okay.
Oh, Steve.
They cleaned it up or something.
Yeah.
And then maybe somebody dumped fries at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Or a corn dog.
And he's going to yell and throw it away.
Right. And somehow the corn dog fell in it.
Perfectly.
It made like a little art palette thing.
Yeah.
Mixed up the colors. And then I think he was like,
he took a bite. He goes, boss, you got to try this.
I'm on something. He's like, what do you want to call it?
I don't know.
Maybe he made a goop sound when it fell on the ground.
Oh, it's amazing.
Goop. Yeah, I've never had it. And even if places don't have it, like they just make it here.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure I have it in the fridge here.
I think some places try to pass off. They call it fry sauce.
It's fry sauce.
And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And they leave out or just kind of more watered down. But no, goop is almost sometimes a little thick. Yeah.
Right. Fry sauce. Yeah, I feel like it's a little more like ketchup-y almost.
Yeah.
Red Robin's campfire.
Okay, campfire sauce is goop mixed with barbecue sauce. Okay. I'll be honest, it's got to be, right? Or is it ranch with barbecue sauce?
It's got to be. Yeah, it's got to be.
It's so funny you brought that up. Yeah.
Yeah, because
my wife tries to make that all the time.
I feel like that's Red Robin's version of and fry sauce.
That's our main snack around the house is the air fryer, making some French fries in the air fryer, and then making our own campfire sauce. Too funny.
Yeah, that's a good rundown on food.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Talk about food all day.
Laws. Okay, this will be fun. We're going to do true laws in the state of Oregon that are illegal. Now, most of these are older laws, and that's why They were drawn up and don't make sense now, but these are true laws in the state of Oregon. One may not test their physical endurance while driving a car on a highway. So once again, I love everybody's laws because there's got to be a great backstory.
Yeah, that's from the Flintstones.
Exactly. How do you define physical endurance? What were you doing?
Right. Pumping weights.
Yeah, pumping weights. You got distracted.
Right. Or is it when they had the?
Yeah, something like the bands, like the rubber band thing.
Yes.
He lets go of the window and takes
right.
the car out next to him.
Right.
Ridiculous. That's a flyover, by the way. Is it 11:50? Yep. So right now, I don't know if we're picking up on the mic. There's currently jets flying over Memorial Day.
Very cool.
Entire list is the only one I could be arrested for. Ice cream may not be eaten on Sundays. This guy's religious. It's got to be something.
It's got to be that, or there was some sort of like ice cream feud between two companies.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And they say, you know what? Nope. Sundays, everyone's going to church.
Yeah.
Nobody's eating ice cream.
Yeah, sorry. No ice cream on
selling
Sundays. We see it.
Right. We see it. Outlawed. I don't care what's in your cone or your cup or your spoon. Arrested.
You're going to
chocolate vanilla. You're done.
You're in cuffs. Going to the paddy wagon. You're going down.
Right.
Canned corn is not to be used as bait for fishing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But then again, what other like canned things did they try? Like they tried canned green beans and just wasn't working.
Right.
Were they leaving the canned corn behind and that's what they got in trouble for?
It became an environmental issue.
It had to have been, yeah.
Right.
I'd say any canned vegetable, it's just canned corn though. I love that it's specifically
canned corn.
Canned corn.
Wow.
Is it maybe something the fish?
Fish became too corny.
Yeah, too corny. There you go. Yeah, fish became too corny.
Right.
Everyone's catching these fish with corn in it. Like, what is this?
The fish started telling bad dad jokes.
It's over.
And then that's when it started happening.
You traced it back, yeah.
And everything became too corny and they said no more fishing.
No more fishing. Well, yeah, canned corn's out. Let's see. This one makes sense. I agree with this one. It's illegal to place a canister filled with human fecal matter on the side of any highway. Well, we got that serious now. I mean, that's common sense. You would think.
A canister. Oh, a canister. What about like a wooden box?
Yeah.
Or a shoe box?
Yeah, it's gotta be. It's his container. I think would be just definition container. But yeah, I want to judge
a lot of clarifications.
This one is my favorite because this one has been tested. Yamhill, and Yamhill is illegal to predict the future. That's fair.
I don't. Where the hell is Yamhill at?
Yamhill. And I thought something that was up in Sam Hill. I thought something that Yamhill's here in Douglas County, very very small town.
Yeah,
you're talking like the post office and maybe so half a convenience store. There's a lot of yams, and they just can't predict the future. And I feel like
one guy.
Yeah, Yamhill is not allowed to what's going to happen. They're going to have cars someday, and that's it, Steve. You're out.
Right. Or he predicted something. Everyone banked on it.
Yep.
Yes. We're going to have rain Wednesday. We're going to be out of the drought come Wednesday.
Yep.
It was 78 degrees and sunny.
And everyone planted their crops. Yeah. Yeah. He killed everything.
Right.
Dang it. This one's another one of my favorites. Myrtle Creek only. Okay, only in Myrtle Creek.
Maybe it was that guy predicted from Yamhill that the Brumfield guy killed.
That could be.
That makes
sense. All connected. We got some
that makes sense.
Tie all this together. That's who got mad. He goes, we get this right. It's like, you can't go predicting the future.
Right. He's like,
I gotta shoot you 3 times.
Right. First, I gotta blow this stump up.
Yeah, I gotta blow the stump up first.
Yeah, hold on.
You're right. Now let's go back to the blowing up the stumps and what was predicting the future.
All right. There we go.
You don't.
That's right. You blow up a stump, there's gold underneath.
There's gold underneath. I predict it's in the future.
Right. I did one of the what's it called? What the 2 metal?
With the dipping rods.
Yes. Yeah. I'm telling you,
it's gonna be big. Okay, Myrtle Creek only. One may not box a kangaroo
because there's a lot of kangaroos around here.
That's.
Something got flown in.
Somebody got flown in. Okay, somebody brought a kangaroo in. This is definitely for an exhibition.
Yes.
Some animal rights person was like, you can't. Come on now.
All right. You can't be boxing a
kangaroo. You can't be boxing a kangaroo. Which I'm happy. I'm glad someone stepped in because, was the kangaroo the better boxer though?
They had to.
Because what if once the kangaroo is just going to tear somebody up, right? Unless he's fighting like someone like Mike Tyson who's going to bite the kangaroo. There's kind of a toss up there.
Yeah, or somebody lost money.
Yeah, no more betting on kangaroos.
Right. If they won the bet, then there might have been some twist of the law there.
There you go.
All Lincoln box.
The guy from Yam Hill, he's like, let's bring in a kangaroo. We'll all bet against it. And the kangaroo just demolished the boxer.
The kangaroo's going to win.
These laws all tie into each other.
Gary, I told you, no more predicting.
Yeah, no more. You and your kangaroos. This one's in Hood River only. Juggling is strictly prohibited without a license.
Depends what you're juggling.
That's fair. That's fair.
Bills.
Yeah.
A couple of jobs.
Yep. Where did it go wrong? I'm like, was this guy trying to juggle like really heavy objects, like hit a pedestrian? You know?
Yeah. Or knives.
Yeah, knives. He hurt
something on fire.
He kept going to the hospital. It's like, look, are you licensed to do this? No.
No. Well, it's illegal now.
Klamath River, it's illegal to walk down a sidewalk and knock a snake's head off with your cane.
You don't like snakes, so that one should be.
I like that it has to knock the snake's head off. Right. Yeah. This was a very direct law. This one guy did not like another guy, saw him do this.
His nickname was Snake.
Yeah, his nickname is Snake. I'm writing the law about this. Knocked his head off.
But you can hit a snake. You just can't knock.
Yeah, you just can't knock his head off. And I thought that was funny.
Yeah, there had to have been some sort of snake activist group.
Yes.
Saw a snake's head. And they were not happy about it.
Not happy about it. We're passing a law.
All right. I'm calling my congressperson.
This next law here lets you know that there was some bloodshed somewhere. And it's against the law for a wedding ceremony to be performed at a skating rink.
And that's just Oregon across the
border? That's just Oregon.
Say that one more time.
It is against the law for a wedding ceremony to be performed at a skating rink. Okay? Is the bride just like, did her dress get caught in the skates?
There is so many questions.
So many questions.
Okay. Rollerblading?
Yep. No, it's at a skating rink.
Yeah. Skates?
It doesn't say that. It just says you can't do a wedding ceremony at a skating rink. Fire hazard. It's the only thing. Yeah, it's gotta be. This maybe just sounds more logical than I thought. And the last one is, and this one's my favorite. You cannot wear roller skates in restrooms.
Well, there you go. See, the
two of them connect.
They had a wedding. They said, honey, I gotta use the bathroom real quick.
Yep.
Roller skated
in the bathroom.
Some sort of crazy insurance claim.
Yep.
Happened. So it could have been like a politician's daughter back in 1921. Yeah. Brumfield shows up. His wife gets hurt. He's like, okay, the guy that he killed was the minister. He said, you know what? You shouldn't even have organized this wedding.
Shut it down.
Kill you. Shut it down. Boom! I'm blowing up a tree stump.
I just
got mad.
I just know that if I'm at a urinal and a guy shows up in roller skates next to me, I'm not comfortable. There's so many things.
Right.
You lose concentration and slip, and it's from the fire issues.
Right. We have issues.
We got issues. Right. Yeah. Now, if you indulge me, this is another list. Okay. Off the kangaroo one in Myrtle Creek, I did a top 10 list one time. I made up my own fake laws. And I read them out loud to a group of people.
Yeah.
Just to get what their sound bites were and the responses, okay? So I read these to you. Now, you know for a fact that these are not real laws, okay?
But they could be.
But I'm going to tell you what somebody said after I read this out loud, okay? Here's the first one. And I'll tell you right now, every time I did this and someone made a comment, it was so hard for me not to laugh out loud. Number one, no more than 2 ducks may wear a sweater at one time. Read that out loud, and sure enough, somebody in the crowd goes, I can see that. I'm like, what do you mean you can see that? Like, like this has nothing to do. Yeah, I can see that. Spitting on a sidewalk is only permitted in the rain, but not a hurricane.
Right.
And someone said,
logical.
Someone goes, well, I wonder what the rule is for a tropical depression.
Well, that makes me sad.
Someone's getting the nitty-gritty of it. Eggplants are not to be worn during the 3rd week of August unless due to religious reasons. And someone in the audience, eggplants. That's what I said. Eggplants not to be worn. Doesn't matter. They just can't be wearing them during the 3rd week of August.
You can go eggplant shoes.
Unless due to religious reasons. Someone in the crowd goes, pagans. I died right there. I think I did laugh out loud. I couldn't help it.
Pagans.
It's amazing. It's illegal for a seeing-eye dog to pick up a prescription. And then somebody in the crowd goes, well, a helper monkey can't be trusted not to ingest the medication. True. That's, yeah. It's amazing. It's illegal to tie-dye a flamingo without its consent. And then someone goes, good luck having them sign the form. Okay, this was another good one. It's illegal to take cows for an evening stroll unless they are mildly sedated. That was the law I made up. Someone in the crowd goes, oh, they may see another cow.
I like them. This has been fun.
Yes. I think we did it.
I think we did a good job. And
Our first one.
Very first one.
Whew.
I think we did pretty good. I'm gonna end on a random fact about Memorial Day.
Please do.
Okay. If I told you 800 hot dogs are eaten on Memorial Day
by one guy
per second.
Per second?
800. And I looked this up. There's like even more. It was like 811. I don't know how they came up with 811, but 800 hot dogs are eaten on Memorial Day per second. That's 72 million hot dogs are eaten on this day alone.
Is that,
dude? 800 hot. Think about that.
Is that bot? Because like I do have numbers are bot. Like who's tracking the numbers for how many eaten? I love that. I love it.
No idea.
I love that.
What kind of count? What kind of census count is?
Who paid for that census count?
Right.
I love the fact it's 811. Like they came back to me 800. I was like, no, I need a specific number.
Right. 72 million. Anyway, happy
Memorial Day.